Jacob Lopez, a guy nobody gave a second thought to when the A's traded for him, finished 2025 as one of the most intriguing lefties in the rotation, and why 2026 could be his real breakout year. Let's get into it today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. My name is Booney, one name, all passion, lifelong A's fan who has been covering the A's a little over a year now. Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team, your A's, every single day. And now Locked On A's is 7 days a week. You heard that right. We get to talk more A's baseball. Why 7 days a week, you ask? Well, I'll tell you why. Because baseball's awesome. That's why. Honestly, I would not be doing this if it wasn't for you right along with me here today. Today's episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. The divisional playoffs are here, and FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. What is up, everybody? I hope everyone is well. And today on Locked On A's, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about the Dodgers clubhouse store on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, this isn't framed as panic or competition, but it's an eye-opening reminder to the past when the A's allowed the Giants to dominate the East Bay by leaving space unprotected. The takeaway is clear. Markets don't stay neutral. Either you build identity and presence early, or someone else will. I want to talk about that later. Why 2026 could be the jump for Jacob Lopez, and what a full, healthy season could mean for Lopez, and why his role in 2026 is bigger than just another arm. We will talk about that in just a few minutes. First, what Jacob Lopez actually did in 2025, Jacob Lopez went from being viewed as rotation depth to earning real trust start by start. Why 2025 mattered beyond wins and ERA, and how he survived without elite velocity, and why his ability to compete every fifth day quietly stabilized the staff. Lopez's 2025 season becomes the baseline for understanding why he's even part of a larger conversation heading into 2026. First, Lopez, 6'4", 220, southpaw, out of Granada Hills, California. 26th-round draft pick by the Giants in 2018 and later with the Rays. He landed with the A's in a December 2024 trade that flew under the radar. On December 14th, 2024, if you remember, the A's traded hard-throwing right-handed prospect Joe Boyle to the Tampa Bay Rays for Jeffrey Springs. Well, that was the headline. The A's also shipped Will Simpson, Jacob Waters, and in the mix of it was a left-hander no one heard of, Jacob Lopez. Lopez didn't make the opening day roster and started the year in Las Vegas. Sam Boy, what's up, bud? Top of the morning to you, man. What's up, Rob? What's up, Booney? Loving the videos 7 days a week. Appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you. Lopez with the Las Vegas Aviators last year. He made 3 appearances when the season started. Remember, he didn't make the opening day roster for the A's. He made 3 appearances, 2 starts. He pitched 14 and 2/3 innings, allowed 11 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned for a 2.45 ERA. Okay, solid, especially for the PCL. But He struck out 22 batters versus 5 walks. That's impressive. And Lopez got the call up on April 18th, and he was okay. 4 games, 1 start, 7 innings, 11 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, struck out 9 and walked 7. Got sent back down to Vegas on April 30th and was impressive again. 12 and a third innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 16 strikeouts over 12 and a third innings. And this time he only walked 3 batters. The A's gave him another shot on May 23rd, and something happened. May 23rd, if you remember, guys, the A's were on a 10-game losing streak. It was against the Phillies that Saturday night. And Lopez shoved 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 8 Ks against the Phillies. The A's lost that game in extra innings, but I was thinking to myself, we may have something here. What's up, Bill? Booney being on 7 days a week. You're our bridge till opening day. Hey, you bet, man. It's a long bridge. We got to get there, guys. We got to get there. So he absolutely shoved against the Phillies. And the Phillies, obviously, one of baseball's better lineups. Excited as heck for his first start. No question about it. And thought we may have something here. Well, his next 2 starts against the Blue Jays, 7 runs in a 1 2/3 innings. And then his next appearance after that against the Twins, 5 earned and 4 1/3 innings. I was like, okay, well, that game against the Phillies was just a one-off, just a flash in the past, right? Well, he got one more opportunity, probably his last opportunity at starting. June 3rd against the Orioles, and Lopez has not looked back. Now, Lopez's season did come to an end in late August with a left elbow flexor strain, but in 2025, man, Lopez ended up pitching 92 2/3 innings in 21 games. He started 17 of them. He finished with a 7-7 record, 4.08 ERA. He struck out 113 batters in those 92 2/3 innings. Solid numbers, man. Very solid numbers given how up and down the A's rotation was last year. But check this out. Check this out. From July 26th to August 12th, Lopez started in 4 games. He threw 24 innings, allowed only 14 hits, 0 runs, 28 strikeouts against 6 walks. 7 2/3 against the Nationals, 3 hits, 10 Ks, no runs. His next start against the Rays, 7 innings, 4 hits, 9 Ks. But here's the twist. Lopez wasn't a flamethrower. He wasn't dominating with triple-digit heat. Lopez throws around 91, slider around 78, 79, and he mixes in a cutter and changeup to keep hitters off balance. That's average velocity at best in today's game. Yet he still got swings and misses. And he was a tough competitor, man. He was gritty. He was impressive. The big thing that you heard from hitters who had a hard time hitting him was his pitch slot, was his arm slot, where the ball was coming from. Hitters had a real hard time picking it up. And up next, I want to talk about why Jacob Lopez gives this pitching staff, this starting rotation, and everything about the 2026 season real hope, and why I'm extremely high on Jacob Lopez. I'll see you in a minute. The divisional playoffs are here, and FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. Every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action. Because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Each game day, you will see a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts you can apply to the bets you like most. Open your profit boost pack first thing on game day and see what boost you want to apply. The boost lets you lean into your game day instincts, whether you are backing momentum, defense, quarterback play, or coaching. The boost gives you more juice on the bets you already like instead of forcing you to bet something new. Every play feels bigger, and the boost makes your bets feel that way too. You make your picks, then apply your profit boost to go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. If you have not already, go check out our new Everydayer Club. You will get access to an ad-free audio feed for Locked On A's, compatible with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and every other major podcast app. An invite to the members-only Locked On Everydayer Club Discord server, which includes a group chat just for listeners of this show. Go to lockedona's.supercast.com or tap the link in the show notes to learn more. December 14th, 2024. The A's traded Joe Boyle and a few other minor league players for Jeffrey Springs. Jeffrey Springs was solid. What we didn't expect in the trade was Jacob Lopez, the other guy. And Jacob Lopez, I think I could pretty much accurately say this, is that everybody was surprised by what Jacob Lopez did in 2025. What's up, Andrew Bay? How you doing, pal? Been a while. Thanks for coming on, bud. Now, going into 2026, MLB Pipeline ranked Jacob Lopez as one of 2025's top rookie performers. Who would have guessed? 24th among all rookies. And he's expected to be in the rotation to start 2026. I personally have him as the number 3 starter, or the 4 starter if you want to go righty, lefty, right? You go Severino 1, Springs 2, Morales 3, Lopez 4. You can do that as well. Now, projections from analytics models like Steamer see him as an 8-win pitcher with an ERA in the mid-4s, pitching about 100 to 136 innings, which isn't bad. Personally, I think that is Jacob Lopez's floor. I think he's going to have a big year. Timmy, how are you, pal? Good morning. I see Jacob Lopez having a big year. Mid-4s, 8 wins. As far as what is projected, I think that's his floor. I think that is floor. Andrew, I might have missed it, maybe not. Have you done a peek into this upcoming season and made your total W prediction for the A's, or too early to predict? I have, Andrew. For a while, I've been saying that I thought the A's, my prediction for 2026, as of right now, it's been like that for a while, is 84 wins, 78 losses. I see the A's on the offensive side as a 90-win team if everything comes together. On the pitching side, I see them as a 78-win team. Now, here's what's crazy about the pitching. You could easily see the A's as a much better pitching team than 78 wins because of what they did in the second half of the season. When you're talking about guys like Severino, Springs, Lopez, Luis Morales, what the bullpen did on their own, they pitched much better than 78 wins. But the same question I have with regard to the A's is the same question you guys have. Is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? Because let's be honest, beyond guys like Severino and Springs who kind of pitched who we thought they were, it's not like those guys are cheap. They were solid. They were solid pitchers. Wild card spot, Andrew, 84 wins, I think that's going to be right on the brink. I think they're going to be playing meaningful games in September, but it depends on what the rest of the American League's at as well. This is my favorite time of the year. I'm actually juiced to watch this team. Kurt's 40-plus homers incoming. I love it, man. Hey, love when you're on here, Andrew. Jacob Lopez, a big part of the pitching going into 2026. He's the guy that gives me hope. He's the guy that says, hey, this team could be really, really, really good. But I'm basing it on a small sample size. And his health is going to be a key. His elbow. He ended the season last year on the DL. I think they could have rushed him back. I'm glad they didn't. But if that elbow stays settled and he could build off a full spring training, which I expect him to do, Lopez could evolve into that true mid-rotation lefty. The kind teams pay up for because lefties who can consistently eat innings with strikeouts are rare. What would that look like in everyday language? Imagine a reliable tenant in your rotation house. He's not just a luxury seat with big ERA tax, but he always pays the rent. And that's the deal with Lopez. Day in, day out, he eats innings, he competes. And he lets the bullpen breathe. He did that all year last year. And I got to give Mark Kotsay some credit as well. When Lopez was struggling early in the year, a lot of it had to do with command. A lot of it has to do with control. And he got behind in counts when he was struggling. And I still remember an interview Kotsay had asking about Lopez. And basically Kotsay went to Lopez saying, listen, stop worrying about where the ball is going to get hit or how hard it's going to get hit or how cute. And don't try to be so cute. And he basically said, I don't care if they hit home run after home run. I want first pitch strike. I want first pitch strike. I want you to be around the zone. And believe it or not, things changed after that. Lopez got ahead of hitters. And they weren't hitting him. His arm slot and where the angle he comes from were giving hitters a problem. And he has sneaky velocity. While the miles per hour doesn't show up on the radar gun, he got a ton of swings and misses. And strikeout-wise, he was dominant. He was as good as anybody. The key thing with Lopez, again, going into 2026 is going to be control. And is what Lopez doing right now, is it sustainable? That's the biggest question with the whole A's pitching. Is it sustainable? That's the thing that worries me. I don't think we're going to get much extra than what we expect from Severino and Springs. They've been doing it for years. They are who they are. ERA, high threes, low fours, eat up innings, dependable. And that's what they're getting paid for. But when you really look at the rest of the A's pitching, and I'm talking about the next three starters and the full bullpen, can you name a guy to me that has done it his whole career? That you're like, hey, he's going to be lights out? No. But what we saw in 2025, and I've said this before, if you're going to replace somebody on your staff, who are you going to get, and are they better? I think Rick on Twitter made a good point, not on Twitter, on YouTube comments. And he said, listen, I'd rather give our youngsters a chance than get a back-end rotation guy like I've been saying, like a Miles Michaelis or a Carlos Quintana. I've been saying that too. And I don't disagree with that one bit. I'd rather give a youngster a shot than a back-end rotation guy you're paying a good amount of money for, who's not going to really move the needle. I want to see what these guys can do. And there's a ton of guys sitting in the minor leagues. Gage Jump is down there. How fast is Jamie Arnold going to be? And a lot of people, no one talks about the steal. I've talked about it before on many times. The steal of the 2025 draft is Zane Taylor out of UNC Wilmington. Best strikeout to base on ball ratio in all of NC2A. We'll see what happens. But I like the fact that we stay with what we have. And we have a lot of youngsters in the minor leagues that are pretty damn good, and I think are going to come up faster than we think. I'll be back in about 5 seconds. I want to talk about a Dodger clubhouse store in Las Vegas. All right, guys, back at you, talking Jacob Lopez, and I want to kind of switch gears a little bit right here. And true, I'm also excited to see how Muncy does this year. Yeah, we talked about Max Muncy on a show that was on Sunday. Sunday, Andrew, check it out. Who's on third? It's a good show. Check that out. Who's the number 5 starter? Perkins, Ginn, Basso, Harris, Medina. That's a good question. Right now, how I have it, my prediction, Bill is, and I've gone with him, is Gunnar Hoglund. And I've also said, listen, could we easily see again a Basso? I don't think it's going to be Harris. I think Harris is going to stay in the bullpen just because we don't have any lefties in the bullpen. Who do we have right now? I don't think Basso will be either, because we need lefties in the bullpen. Our only 2 lefties we have in the bullpen would be Brady Basso and Hogan Harris. We don't have any other lefties. So for that fact, I don't think it's going to be Basso or Harris. Medina. Bill, what kind of Medina are we going to get? Did he show flashes? Does he have the stuff when he was up? Yeah. I mean, he looked great at times and he got rocked on other times. Ginn, I think Ginn has the best stuff. So my personal opinion, I think Perkins is going to be our closer next year. I think Perkins is going to be our closer. My personal opinion, it's going to be a battle between Ginn, Hoglund, and Medina. And if I was to handicap it, I would put it in that order as well. I think Ginn's the favorite, then Hoglund, then Medina. My personal opinion, not a lot of people agree with. I think it's going to be Gunnar Hoglund. What's up, Rob? I agree. I like our pitchers and the youngsters on the Aviators for sure. Andrew, also, sorry I haven't tuned in recently. I'm probably bringing up stuff. Oh, all good, man. Bring up whatever you want. Dodgers Clubhouse store in Las Vegas. Now, the Dodgers Clubhouse store in Vegas, which opened, I believe, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say around 2022. And the reason I bring this up is somebody on YouTube, T-Dog, I believe, brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. And immediately it flipped the light for me as a fan, and for A's fans that have been through this saga as long as I have. I can't help remember when we allowed another franchise, when the A's allowed another franchise to take over the entire East Bay. And through all the criticism ownership has received, a lot of it's just noise and BS. This is legit. The A's ownership management has never done a good job of getting out there and marketing the product. Like I said, look at what happened in the East Bay when the A's were there, but weakened the local market. The Giants had strong traction in the East Bay long before the A's left. This wasn't recent, guys. This has been happening for decades. The Giants dominated local media markets, merchandise, and even claims to fan loyalty for decades. The A's, of course, had their Bay Bridge Series rivalry. But Giants fans, bars, and merchandise were everywhere in the East Bay. And that bothers me today. Even where the A's were supposed to be at home, the home team. Bars in the East Bay, and I lived it, guys. I lived for a period of time in the East Bay. Bars that defaulted to showing Giants games on their TVs. It pisses me off. Even after the A's departed, the Giants actively marketed towards the East Bay. Do you remember the series earlier on this year in San Francisco? Linking San Francisco's 415 area code with the East Bay's 510? What a joke that was, considering the history and the relocation rights. So when I saw that comment about the Dodgers store, and like I said, nothing new. Dodger store has been there for a number of years. 2-time defending champs. I get it. Nothing against that. The A's have never done a good job with marketing their product and getting teams excited about it. They haven't done that in Sacramento. And when I had Sully on, probably the only thing I agree with Sully on is that they could have made Sacramento into something special. They haven't done anything in Sacramento. There is no presence of the A's. And why there isn't a presence right now in Las Vegas, I don't know. There better be a damn good law. And I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear this or that. It should be done. They could easily build something out there besides the visitor center that promotes their brand. There's so many things they can do. This has nothing to do with trademarks. Nothing is stopping them that I am aware of. There needs to be more of a presence. And that's what I want. What's up? The San Jose Sharks reposting Giants stuff. No A's anymore. I understand that. Rob, it makes me mad too. Hopefully our fan base will grow as the fans come. Yes, I think it will. Upper management with regard to the A's need to get better. They blew that in the East Bay. And no, it had nothing to do with attendance, had nothing to do with this. This has been happening for decades, guys. This ain't the first time. For years, the Giants have owned the East Bay. And that's on the A's. It has nothing to do with anything else. Any business, first thing you need to worry about is marketing. They have done an awful job with that. And I'm pissed. I'm pissed when it happened in the East Bay, and I'm pissed when I read that comment yesterday about the Dodgers having a team store in Vegas. Nothing wrong with the A's. Nothing wrong with the Dodgers having a team store. I'm not saying that. Hey, listen, I get there's more fans in Las Vegas for the Dodgers than the A's. I understand that. But the A's need to have to start building towards that and need to start getting better with regard to it. If you are in Vegas, contact the A's front office. Contact their marketing. If you have a contact, talk to them. Why is there not more of a presence with regard? Let me rephrase that. Why isn't there more of a retail presence with regard to the A's brand in Vegas? Has nothing to do with trademarks. Had nothing to do with trademarks. There should be more of a brand. Talk to your guys over there. Do you think they will make an A's store soon? I hope so. I don't have the answer to that. Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys joining today as always. A's, Locked On A's is now 7 days a week. And I hope to see you back tomorrow where we're going to talk more A's. What suggestions you have as far as what topic or position you would like me to cover? I'm in. Whatever you guys want, you let me know. All right, guys. You guys take care. And I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in today to Locked On A's. We will be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. live on YouTube on audio. The show should be up at around 10 a.m. as Locked On A's is now 7 days a week. Make sure you subscribe and follow Locked On A's so you get all the latest episodes. You can find Locked On A's on social media on X, Instagram, and TikTok, all at Locked On A's. If you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On A's ad-free plus members only, Discord access, and more. Head to lockedona's.supercast.com to join the club. For those of you on video, we send you to the first ever 24/7 national Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure you make your second listen Locked On MLB.